All right, and we're back on the air with none other than Mr. Charlie Watson of Sons of Guns, the show on Discovery Channel, the hit show, Red Jacket Firearms. Awesome guy, awesome place. And with me, I think, is Wayne, finally.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much, man. Well, we got a couple stories here we're going over with Mr. Charlie Watson of Sons of Guns.
Awesome.
And, we just were talking about some missile warheads. 3,300 missile warheads were found in Jamaica.
Just found, like at a garage sale.
Yeah, just like popped up, man. But anyways, Bone Daddy had a story he was wanting to bounce off with Charlie and ourselves, so go ahead, Bone Daddy.
I think we will like this one, too. So we're all familiar with the knockout game that has been going around primarily up north, but we're all familiar with the basic concept. You walk up and you knock some unsuspecting person out. Mm-hmm. Our story comes to us from the early morning hours of Thanksgiving in the Bronx. 3 Bronx thugs who were out for a game of knockout with what they thought was an unsuspecting victim, a white male in his late 50s to early 60s, got more than they bargained for. 3 men in their early 20s were trailing the man when their prey veered into an alley.
Like
the dumbasses they are, they followed him into the alley, and suddenly, around a sharp, dark bend, they found the barrel of a .45 Magnum waiting for them.
Nice.
2 of them were shot in the foot, and the third was pistol whipped. Authorities responded to a 911 call reporting the gunfire, and the men were transported to Calgary Hospital, where they were treated and released. Don't bring a knife! I can only hope he was wearing a black shirt with a big white skull on it when he did it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And I'm thinking the .45 Magnum was probably just a ignorant journalist's mistake, but I'm going to pretend it really was a .45 Winchester Magnum out of a long-barreled Wildy, kind of like the ghost of Charles Bronson right behind him.
That is too awesome.
Nice.
I'm a little aroused just thinking about the story. That's the best knockout story I've come across lately, and there have been a few good ones, but
yeah,
I'd like to see more of that.
It being New York, they're probably going to need to track the guy down because, as far as I know, only criminals are allowed to have guns in New York these days, if I'm not mistaken. So.
I believe Bloomberg made that illegal, so there shouldn't be any guns there.
Yeah, right.
Largely, I think he was probably an out-of-towner.
Yeah, look out! I got a 20-ounce soda.
Yeah, I've got a large clock radio. That law that they passed in the middle of the night with their legislature after Sandy Hook was so bad. They had 30-plus amendments they had to make to it because the legislature was up all night because, we have to do something about this. So they passed a law with 7-round magazine capacity, which I guess is really good for Kimber, being in upstate New York anyway. But they had to come across with like 30-something amendments to make the law. And, I mean, granted, that's ridiculous, but they literally, in the enacting of the law, they banned the police officers' weapons.
I know they forgot to exempt the police.
Yeah. So we're going to go back to having bobbies, I guess.
Yeah, it was such a bad law. They finally got it. I think it was mostly, I don't know if it's ever been put on hold or repealed or whatever, but it was nightmarish.
It's still on the books. There was a man arrested not long ago for putting 9 bullets into his magazine instead of 7.
It's worse than that. They're starting confiscation in California and New York as we speak. And the way they're doing it is if you owe the state some money on your taxes, they come in and take your weapons, your registered weapons that you registered with state. And they said that they would, it's just a registration. We're not going to take your weapons. These
believe that.
People that are law-abiding citizens that, just happen to owe. I mean, how many people owe to government money? There's probably a lot of them.
Well, especially in California. California's broke anyway. What happened in D.C., what was it, 15, 20 years ago, they had the big turn-in, the big confiscation thing in Washington, D.C. Now, granted, their law has been overturned, and if all you got to get some people in these states to start suing the state, and we're trying to overturn some of these laws, what's going to end up having to happen.
Yeah.
Somebody who works for Kimber is going to take one home or something one day and sue somebody and sue for getting confiscated or what have you up in Yonkers.
Yeah, that's the New York thing. That's what happens when you elect idiots and they legislate out of panic and stupidity.
Yeah.
That's a prime example of it.
I got some good friends that work for Kimber, and they just shake their heads on a regular basis. I'm like, y'all need to move that place. Move down to Louisiana.
Louisiana would love them.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, big time. And it's not as cold up there, It's amazing that all these places that have all these horrifying, un-American gun laws are where these manufacturers are all located. Look at up in Delaware, Vermont, where Century Arms is. Who imports more assault rifles than Century Arms? And they're in Vermont.
Yeah.
People's
Republic of.
Yeah, there's in Massachusetts, Smith & Wesson, largest manufacturer of firearms in the world.
Yeah.
Ruger. It's all up there on the northeast coast. Like, wow, you guys got to move.
They're sticking with these places out of tradition because they've been there since God was a kid, but the state legislatures in those states and those state legislatures hate and fear them.
And they hate them and fear them, and for now they've obviously stopped being able to lobby their way even through these massive. You got to figure that these guys are pumping money into the legislature and the lobbyists. So those guys are even at that they're running. They've got to be running. They're running scared now. It's pretty sad.
Oh God, yeah, it's bad. Well, on a lighter note, Charlie, I know you love zombies. We all love zombies. Well, we don't love them, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
So, whenever possible, we're always on the lookout for a possible zombie outbreak. The cleverly hidden stories.
Right.
Dozens of people hospitalized in Las Vegas with mystery illness. Dozens of children and adults who are in Las Vegas for the National Youth Football Championships have been hospitalized after coming down with a mystery illness. The disease shows flu-like symptoms, including vomiting. They call it norovirus, the largest cause of outbreaks of gastroenteritis stomach flu in the United States. 20 million cases a year. Now, combine that story with the one right after it.
Okay.
Man stole delivery truck because he was running from zombies. This is from the Star Tribune. After stealing a newspaper delivery truck from a gas station, an intoxicated Apple Valley man, I guess that's in California, it didn't say. It's close enough to Las Vegas for my purposes.
Yeah.
Told police that he took the delivery truck because he was running from zombies. Garrett Howard Hurlbut, 23, was charged with stealing a motor vehicle on September 29th, just after 1 a.m., according to court documents. He stole the Star Tribune delivery truck while his driver was dropping off the newspapers inside an Apple Valley Quick Trip on West 145th Street. Hold on a second, isn't there kind of like a conflict of interest here? It's a Star Tribune article. And
they're reporting on yeah. Who else is going to report it, though? Because the other guys aren't going to.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, we'll report it
Yeah.
here.
Go ahead.
According to the complaint, the defendant had bloodshot, watery eyes and a strong odor of alcoholic beverages up his breath. And he made several statements because he was being chased by zombies.
That's
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think Democrats had their convention this early.
Oh, true story. I was in. There's a 3-gun shoot in Nebraska every year. It's the zombie themed 3-gun shoot. It's sponsored by the Hornets. Okay, there's zombie ammo and what have you. Great bunch of guys. Love working with them. Well, I went last year. I didn't get to go this year. I went last year. It's around Memorial Day. All right. So, but we were on our way up there. It was me and Joe Meaux from the TV show Red Jacket Firearms. We're on our way up there. And this girl was talking to us, and she recognized it. Says, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, we're going to Nebraska." I said, "Why are you going to Nebraska?" I said, "We're going to kill zombies." And she's like, "Really?" And we're like, "Yeah." I said, "Did you hear about the outbreak with a guy who got his face eaten in Florida?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, we didn't get there in time." And then I was like, "Did you hear about the one in Texas 2 weeks ago?" She goes, "No." I said, "You see, we got there. We stomped them all out first. That's our real job. We're professional zombie hunters." And she was like, I mean, dude, hook, line, sinker, bought the whole thing. It was awesome.
That's great.
God.
Yeah, she's not like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's an amazing thing because, and I don't mean to say it any other than that, because I'm on television, a lot of people have a tendency to listen to a lot of things I have to say and actually believe me. So you really get away with some stuff.
Before the next break, and you can stay longer if you want to. It's completely up to you. But do you get recognized a lot? I mean, obviously you will in Louisiana.
Actually, it's kind of all over.
All over? They see you and come after you?
Airports are pretty tough, like to get through an airport sometimes. Sometimes hey, and it's an exponential multiplier if I'm with somebody else from the show. Joe and I travel together a lot, and so I just kind of look like a regular guy for the most part. But if I'm with him or he's with it's like I look like a regular guy, and he kind of sort of looks like a regular guy. But we put us together, and it's got to be those two jackasses of television.
Yeah.
So, and I have Red Jacket logos on a lot of my clothes and my gear, and I don't wear that stuff on purpose to get recognized. Literally, it's consumed my wardrobe. I don't have that many other clothes. So it's just I don't need them. I wear them all the time. So it's like so I've got a lot of polo shirts. I just throw them on. I don't even think about it till I'm halfway to whatever. I'm like, oh well, all right, fine. It's not like I'm trying to show off or trying to get recognized. It's literally what I have to wear.
Yeah. Well, according to Weem, I'm not going to cover a diet, but the only starstruck fan of our show was this female furry at the Comic-Con convention in San Diego that was coming after me.
Oh, you went to Comic-Con?
Yeah, I went to Comic-Con San Diego.
Dude, that's awesome.
Me and Weem went, and our friend Bear, and we had a blast, dude.
2008. Yeah.
And we'll probably never get to go again because it's just that damn hard to get tickets now.
Oh, yeah, it's impossible.
But I got a funny story. I'm gonna let Weem. What's that?
I was afraid you were going to say you were banned because of the furry incident.
That's probably why.
As long as it wasn't a pony.
That didn't happen, so that didn't happen. We have a funny story, and I guess I'll let Weem take it. Weem, remember the young Mexican lad that thought he could do the impossible?
Oh, that poor bastard. Yeah, they had these pedal cabs there that looked like basically like rickshaws, and they were chauffeuring people around, and they were, bringing people to and from the hotels and whatnot, and he didn't expect, a couple 250-pound, 300 guys to get in this little pedicab and say, now roll me uphill.
Yeah, I was the smallest one, by the way.
Yeah, we were in there, and it was funny because it was, his poor bastard was trying to pedal us to the hotel, and the little Mexican guy was bringing one or two people, pull up next to him just long enough to laugh and point and keep on going.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt bad for him.
That guy got what he deserved, though, because we were wanting the Russian chick.
Yeah, this is true. They had a bunch of Mexican guys, and then one that looked like Russian gymnasts that were doing these pedicabs.
It's just little bitty Mexican guys and Russian gymnasts. That's the pedicabs over there.
Huh. I got a story here. I don't know if y'all talked about it. Y'all talked about the Evie Hudak, the Colorado State Senator who resigned?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, apparently she's the third senator who's facing recall after their gun control measures were passed there last month. But she resigned in order to avoid the recount. So she saw what writing was on the wall right there.
She'll be promoted to ambassador somewhere. But
Magpul ran at those guys hard.
Oh, well, they should.
They definitely led the charge. They even had the Operation Colorado airdrop or whatever it was. If you're from Colorado and needed high cap mags before the magazine ban went into effect, they were filling your orders first and at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
There was. I know. I'm being plugged into the industry. I know a lot of these guys. The marketing director of Magpul is a good friend of mine. He's a really, really good guy. So I talked to him throughout this whole thing, and it was just off and on. Hey, guy, how it's going, whatever. And I still never could get him to tell me where they were moving the factory to, but it was it's tough, man. I mean, it was a pretty bad deal all across the board for them, and they fought it. And they're going to continue to fight it, and they're moving out. I mean, they're leaving. They've moved some of their operations out of Colorado already. Yeah,
they're going to miss that tax base right there. That's for sure. Yeah, so Evie Hudak, she's apparently a senator from apparently a Denver suburb area, and they started a recall against her, so she resigned to avoid the recount. And there's a nice little thank you too. Apparently, her constituents put on a thank you ceremony for her for trying to support her, and she didn't even show up. Wow.
Yeah. That's shitty. I mean, that's really shitty. These people are dumb and confused and stupid, but that's shitty to do to your constituents.
That's bad. Wow.
I'm sorry about the language, Charlie, but that's one thing. Like you said, there've been a lot of other shows that take off y'all shows. There's been a few. I'm convinced that they've taken some gimmicks from us, but we have an ace in the hole in that we can cuss and say whatever we want.
Well, it's the internet. The FCC can't touch it.
Exactly.
For now.
We're gonna take another break, Charlie. If you want to hang on.
I'll hang around. Yeah, it's cool, man. I'll hang around. I think, like I said, my house is full of women right now, so I'm good, bro. I'll grab a beverage and join me back in a minute.
Yeah, we'll continue running interference for you then.
Thanks, appreciate it.
You're listening to the Neil and William Show here on TalkShoe.com.